Coming to you this morning with breaking news of a deadly crash in Oak Park. I'm Eric Connort.
And I'm Netta Rampur. Thanks for being with us here. So this happened right on the 54th Street and Redwood Street intersection. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol joining us live in Oak Park. Dana Marie, what can you tell us? We see definitely an active scene still.
Well, good morning, Eric and Netta. It's a tragic scene here in Oak Park where the body is still here lying in the road, dead after a fatal pedestrian crash. I'm going to let you see what's going on over my shoulder. I have new information for you. Now, we just spoke to San Diego Police Department. They told us that around 4:30 this morning, a medic saw a pedestrian down the roadway. We're being told that the car that hit this pedestrian is still on scene. They're still cooperating with police. When we got here this morning, it was very, very dark. So, of course, we're learning more information about what led up to this crash, but what we do know here on southbound side of 54th Street near Redwood in Oak Park, they believe that person was going northbound on this road when this crash happened. Again, this is very preliminary information. Police say that this has become a little bit more complicated than they expected this morning, so they should be here for a couple of hours doing this investigation. So if you're in the Oak Park area, Redwood and 54th Street, it is blocking traffic. Police officers have been diverting traffic all morning long, as that victim, who we know is a male, being described as a middle-aged male. The driver of the car is also male, but that victim does still remain in the road, as this is an active investigation and scene. Please check back in with us all morning long, as I will be speaking with police officers, giving as much information as I can. But what I do know is that that driver who hit that victim is still cooperating with police this morning. I'm Dana Marie McNichol, coming to you live from Oak Park.
All right, Dana Marie, thank you for bringing us the latest from the scene there. Now, Coronado and Imperial Beach city leaders there are working together in hopes that the county will take a new look at their water quality testing policy. We spoke with the mayors of both of those cities. They tell us beach closures have dramatically increased because of their new testing protocol. They say the new testing policy used by San Diego County does not take into account some standards that have been set over the past 25 years.
And if the only new change is this new testing protocol the county is using, then maybe we need to scrutinize that a little bit more before relying on this first in the nation test to determine whether or not we should shut down 20% of San Diego County's coastline for the entire South Bay region.
And this new testing protocol began in early May this year. Both cities will be submitting a formal request to the county now. They want the county to consider the previous testing style alongside the new testing.
Right now, we are waiting to hear from the medical examiner about the identity of a body found here on the rocks at Sunset Cliffs. This is the story we broke during this hour yesterday morning. Police believe the body belongs to someone who was already in the water and washed ashore the night before. There's been some speculation it may be the body of 18-year-old Woodlane Zaki. He's that teenager who drowned at Mission Beach about a month ago, but there's no confirmation on that yet.
And now we have an update on the murder of a teenager in City Heights. Police say Sunday's shooting that left 14-year-old Enrique Medina dead stemmed from some kind of gang challenge by those suspects. Now, a group of young men involved, they were last seen going south on 37th Street in a light-colored car after the shooting. We still don't have a detailed description of those young men or any photos of them. Investigators would only describe them as 4 Hispanic teens. They're between the ages of 16 and 19 years old. Please call police if you have any information.
This morning, a victory for privacy and protester rights here in San Diego. The city will now require police officers to seek or obtain a warrant in order to hold or search seized cell phones. It's the result of a settlement to a lawsuit that alleged San Diego police took a protester's phone back in 2020 and refused to return it for several months. Attorneys argued the prolonged seizure of the protester's phone was unconstitutional due to potential privacy implications.
And now this morning, inflation, yes, it's continuing to take its toll on everyone across the country. We all know these prices are high, and now this new report really does confirm that. It's from the Labor Department saying the Consumer Price Index accelerated to 9.1% in June compared to 1 year ago, which means you're paying so much more for all the things you're used to buying, and that level has not been seen since 1981. Higher rents and increased food prices have helped to push that surge, but consumers are seeing the biggest inflation in gas and energy prices.
We've all noticed mostly at the gas pump. So I just filled our Volvo car, our Volvo SUV up, and it's quite expensive.
At this time, the Federal Reserve has indicated it'll likely gradually increase our interest rates until inflation levels off. A hike of 0.75 percentage point is expected later this month.
Developing here this morning, a judge will decide whether a lawsuit alleging the Chargers had a secret plan to leave San Diego will move forward by the end of this month. The breach of contract suit was brought by a taxpayer on behalf of the city back in January. Ruth Hendricks claims the Chargers had a relocation plan in the works before telling the city it was leaving for Los Angeles. The case was modeled after a Missouri lawsuit against the Rams that ended with an $800 million settlement for the city of St. Louis. The NFL wants the case thrown out. The lawsuit claims the city knew the owners wanted to leave as far back as 2004 and failed to convey that to San Diegans. All right, Shark Week starts in less than 2 weeks, but today is Shark Awareness Day. And while they may seem intimidating on the surface, sharks actually play a very key role in helping balance our ecosystem.
Yeah, the health of sharks means we have a healthy ocean. CBS 8's Chris Grow live at SeaWorld now, where you're learning a lot about these creatures. They're just so mysterious and fascinating. Hi, Chris.
Hey, yeah, good morning, Eric and Ed. I'm also learning that there is a prohibited song here at the shark exhibit that we will not go over, but I'm sure you two, being parents, are well aware of. You can go to my Instagram to catch that song. But Chris, we're going to have you go over and kind of show off some of these species, and I want to bring in Emma here to talk a little bit more about so we have 11 different species here at SeaWorld. However, we've got 9 in this tank right now. Let's start off with some of these bigger ones here. That one kind of just ahead of us, Chris. What do we have here that we're kind of looking at?
So in here, we're going to see our lemon shark. She's going to be our largest shark at just under 10 feet swimming around. She's going to have that nice gray coloration. We also have 4 sand tigers. They're going to be those slow moving ones with that nice pointed face. They're actually pretty cool because they can gulp air and actually control their buoyancy. They're the only sharks that are able to remain neutrally buoyant, which means that they can just float up and down with that air. Then we are all... Oh.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, and I was going to say, and then you were telling me, obviously, we have some of the more obvious ones, the black tips, the white tips, and things like that.
Yes, so we do have black tip reef sharks as well as white tips swimming around. So we're going to have our boys and girls mixed in here, and then we're going to have our males and female white tips separate. We're also going to have some nurse sharks sleeping on the bottom, along with our Australian leopard sharks that have those nice, beautiful spots.
And then you're going over 9, I mean, so there's 9 different species in here, 11 at the park. Would you say that each one has its own set of behaviors and personalities, if you will?
Definitely. So you can definitely see that, especially when we're feeding, which you're going to help us do. They're going to have a completely different set. So white tips are going to almost pack hunt, where they're going to surround a fish, but they're all competing for that same fish. They're not helping each other like you might see with mammals. They're all going after the same thing, whereas our Australian leopard sharks are going to be scavenging. Same with our nurse sharks. They're going to go up to those corals and use their mouth to kind of suck that food in.
Yeah. Wow, incredible. And then even you can kind of see him. It might be out of view here of our camera guys, but there actually is, as Emma and I were talking about, a nurse shark that has that blue coloration that is super cool. Is that normal that you might run into that in the wild, so to speak?
Yeah, so it's just part of their genetics, depending on who his parents were, if they had any sort of recessive genes, and just how their coloration works out. We see it within our own species that we've been successfully able to breed here, just based off of if they're going to be lighter or darker, but most of them have a counter shading where they're going to be dark on top and lighter on the bottom to help avoid predators, but also to help camouflage so prey doesn't see them coming.
All right, well, Emma, you're going to have to come over here and help me out here. Chris, don't step on the baby mackerel. So, Emma, I'm going to give you the microphone here. You can go ahead and kind of narrate here, and we are going to do our best here to go ahead and you're going to feed the shark. Now, do you think we have to call them over, or do you think they're going to be able to smell this guy?
So I did throw some food in, so hopefully they'll be able to smell it. But if you want to splash the water around a little bit, that's going to get them to come over. So sharks have a great way of sensing any sort of movement in the water. They have something called the ampullae of Lorenzini, which are these tiny little pores at the front of their face, which is going to allow them to come over and feel that. So we actually have our lemon. If you want to give the water one good, nice slap, and then drop it. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Worst case scenario, if you ever drop a fish, it's going to go to the bottom for those nurse sharks and our Australian leopard shark. That black tip's going to play with it.
It's going to play with it. Okay.
So another adaptation, some of them are going to want to really play with their food almost. So they're going to want to take it, spin it around, they're going to drop it, they're going to catch it, anything like that, just to really amplify that feeding. And you'll even see them shake their heads, kind of like a dog shaking a toy.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. I mean, thank you so much, Emma, for, again, expanding our knowledge here, because part of Shark Awareness Day is obviously the education of it, because so many people have these different misconceptions, whether it be from Hollywood or maybe really rare occurrences that happen that obviously capture headlines. So thank you so much for teaching us, and we'll continue to be learning all morning here at SeaWorld, guys. These guys, they may not look hungry right now, but I guarantee you that little baby mackerel is not going to last very long there at the bottom of the tank. Eric and Netta.
If you throw fish into a shark tank, it's going to be gone pretty quickly.
Probably gone as we're speaking right now.
I like, though, that you described them as puppies. Like, when they play with their chew toys, they're just shaking their heads.
Oh, my kids aren't listening because apparently sharks play with their food. And I don't want that whole excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, they're allowed to. It gets messy in the ocean, I'm sure. Good morning to you. It's 6:12 on the clock. We appreciate you being with us. A cloudy start to the day. You see the American flag there blowing up at Hotel Del. Bit of a breeze coming through. We're not expecting wind to be a major factor into the next couple days, but what we are expecting to be a major factor is humidity. We're going to see those humidity values rise today and last all the way through the upcoming weekend, with a chance of even some thunderstorms over the mountains and deserts, primarily for the weekend, but that risk lasts all the way from today through about Monday of next week. Excessive heat warning is in effect Friday through Sunday. You've got a decent stretch of time on this area in pink highlighted on your screen. Borrego Springs, Ocotillo Well is going to be included in this. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the heat is really going to be felt 110 to 112 degrees or so across those deserts, stretching all the way through Imperial County. No watches, warnings, or advisories along the coast or inland. Forecast for the day is going to show mainly low 70s along the water. We've got some clouds that we're still working through. As you leave the coast and you start to head inland, temperatures are going to warm up nicely. 87 inland, 90 across the mountains, and 112 for the deserts. Live look outside has been beautiful. That sunrise 5:51, so about 20 minutes ago. Sunset 7:58. Afternoon highs mostly in the 70s along the coast, 80s as you head inland this afternoon. It'll be warming up nicely. As far as traffic goes, drive times are looking smooth here on the screen. You got green across the board. We'll keep you up to date if we see any changes. Ned and Eric, back to you.